probably have an idea what the Yaks are. Now this one in particular is the Yak-3. Infamously hated by people who think the Bf-109 is the best turn fighter of the World War II, it is a great tactical dogfighter. But can we one up from here? How would we improve the thing? Well, we shall try by fitting an engine from the LA7, then removing the belly radiator, and we would have a solid starting point. Right from the takeoff, the performance gain is rather apparent. Not that the original lacked in power, but this is at another level. I would do things that I otherwise wouldn't dare, say perhaps in the original Yak-3. No worries if the enemies above me. Once I make them come down to my altitude, then the job is practically done. But I do have to vary the tactics after baiting them down in regards to the type of the enemy plane, which in this case is an N1K. Now he might think I am in a very shootable status, and he's not wrong. After all, he is diving on me. However, notice, I have higher top speed and more power, so within this high speed scissors, I won't lose much speed where he will. Time this reversal properly and the plane will serve the rest for you. He makes my job even easier by not dodging a single bit. Now he got some damage and the Key 83 is hesitant to dive on me. However, the N1K is not, but for my comfort I still have speed. So I can easily pull up, instantly put my nose down and follow him behind. Unfortunately, the Key 83 is now on my arse, but fortunately the N1K helps me by presenting himself. So I make him a lot hotter as a gift, and swiftly dodge the Key 83 to repeat the reversal. Accelerate, then follow him up. Fighting the A6M can be and is quite annoying. Do you not have more power? You might say that. My answer to that is irrelevant. He is maneuverable to a point your power is going to be neglected, or you can just easily run away from them whenever you'd fancy. That makes both sides unable to take any risks, and the fighting dynamic is so stale. Therefore, whenever you fight the A6M, make him or her lose his or her patience. Only then you can use your power to your advantage. Literal one full elevator turn at high indicated airspeed will guarantee you an advantage. Or, alternatively, provided you are with some good team, you can make him or her occupied. Bait for the teammate, or collect a bait from the teammate. Mind is the name of the game here. Although that doesn't relate to every single Japanese aircraft, but you needn't panic. You still are faster and can climb at higher indicated airspeed below 7,000 feet. So if they are lower than you from the start of the engagement, just keep your altitude and circle above them until a good opportunity shows up. Keeping your plane intact is the priority. Don't rush your attacks, or otherwise you will be the defending side quicker than your anticipation. When they follow you lower and higher speeds, use your high-speed climb against them. Once you have the upper hands, you can use the bait tactic again. Wait till they lose patience and speed, and pick whom you want to go for. Dogfights. In the realm of momentary brilliance, my nimble and small Yak will be perfect to defeat the oncoming threat. You see, Yak-3U isn't just a more powerful Yak-3. As I mentioned, the starting points were a bigger engine and removal of the belly radiator, sure, but those are starting points. From there it has gained different propeller, 11 cm in wing length per wing, and new wing mount position that's being 20 cm forward from that of the original. Longer wings mean better maneuvering energy retention, and wings moved forward means a compensation for the change of center of gravity. Combine all that, and the result is ruddy insane. Against US aircraft especially, you turn inside them while having more speed doing so. So if any American aircraft starts to dogfight with you, you can play with them provided you fight below the grey web area, which is from about 12,000 feet from the takeoff altitude, which in this case I am. Now, being helped by having nearly no fuel in my tanks make it a lot easier, but even with about 12 minute fuel load, I still would have been able to pull this off. You just have so much in terms of dogfight performance. I may not be able to outturn everything, but usually if people can outturn me, I can out-energy them while slightly turning with them. So when the occasion arrives, I can just pull these off. Keeping my speed, while casually staying in front of them, but out of their guns. Yes, poor aim from Mr. Spitfire did help, but the point is still valid. Either you out-dogfight people or you just simply have more power. There are times, a lot of times, this aircraft reminds me of a Tempest Mark V and the Vampire. Unsurprisingly though, since both sports a great maneuvering energy retention. All the changes Yakovlev engineers made stacks up to make this aircraft feel extremely stable and responsive to fly. You'll see how I focus on the positives during the entire review. That's because it's shorter that way. Sure, the Yak is fast, agile, lightweight, and overall is a great aircraft. But it also is a terrible fighter. On paper it all sounds fantastic. Fastest 5.3, great climb, king of verbal dogfights, and many besides. So in theory it is capable and equipped against any enemy, like an Achilles, but like an Achilles that has heels. First, the rip speed. It lies around 435 miles an hour, so you are basically capped below that speed, which will be fine if you are at 3.0. But you fight at least 5.3 PR. That means 90% of the enemies you face, including the A6Ms, will outdive you, even if you are faster than them, you accelerate quicker than them, and has more retention than them. Doesn't matter. Now it's bad enough to a point where your tactics will be corrupted. From about 5.0 the meta is high speed and just diving away, but you have basically no power against both. I mean, sure, it's fine if you have a great teammate to clear your ass and bait people for you, but without them your combat options are way too slim. Second, guns. 20mm B20S, aka the BS-20. The cannon itself is decent with high enough fire rate and very straight shell trajectory. It doesn't overheat, so it doesn't particularly jam, and is very consistent, but the rounds act the opposite way of Soviet tendency for execution. It's very bad. Even the Hispano Mark II feels better to use. It may sound appealing to have 20mm cannons, but it's all inconsistent, and Berezin UB machine guns are far better as a set of weaponry. So, to wrap it all up, it may be great as an airplane, but that doesn't make it function very well as a warplane. In a combat, it's just a Yak-3 having way too much power for its own good and subpar killing power. Might as well fly the original one at a 1.3 BR lower. And as for the outro, I've prepared a little montage of glorious moments I had flying the Yak-3U. So enjoy watching that, and thank you very much for watching. Happy New Year.